Hello there, welcome back to Planet Zoo and our safari park. Thanks very much for joining me today. I really do appreciate your company. I do hope you're well. So, where are we? In the last episode, we had finished constructing our large, I don't know, it's not really an entrance building because the entrance is obviously over here, but this is the first big structure that you come to in the park, with our tower up here, our viewing platform, and our restaurant, and our sort of seating area here overlooking the lake. And I had just started work on our track ride, which, as you can see here, obviously I've not done this part of it yet, but I had started it over the other side, and I've now just done some more work. So let me head over there and show you what I've been up to. Here we go, as you can see. So as we left it last time, I had started with the rock work just along here, just highlighting the track, the path that the cars take, and I had put the water in as well. So as you can see now, I have been pretty busy with some foliage as well. So I've gone with a fairly green palette. I didn't really want anything too colourful here. It's Africa, and I wanted it to remain quite accurate to what would actually grow. So these are all things highlighted as Africa themed. So it's as realistic as it can get. So fairly sparse. I will have the foliage more densely populated around the areas where the trucks go. Or the Jeeps, I should say, and then other areas. So, for example, over sort of in this corner here, there's not going to be too much here. There will be a bit more than is there at the moment. I'll come back to these areas later on. So for now, I am focusing my attention on the track rides. So some of these tall trees, I love these things. These are crazy looking things. They don't look realistic at all, yet they are exactly what they actually look like in real life. So yeah, they're crazy looking things, especially the short dumpy ones. I mean, look at that. It doesn't look like it could actually exist, does it? But it does. They you know, that's a pretty accurate representation. Very cool. So yeah, so those are fairly spread out. Smaller trees as well. I love these umbrella trees. I use these in all my zoos. Luckily they are an African tree, so obviously I can reuse them again in this park. And then just some light shrubs, just dotting, mostly worked in around the rocks. A couple of fallen trees as well, some of these logs, that's a favourite of mine, just the odd log lying around, and just mixing them up, you know, just it's pretty simple. When I'm placing these down, I just try to keep it as random as I can, because that keeps it looking natural, so don't overthink things too much. Obviously around the lake here, or the little pond I should say, just a little bit of detailing here. Put some rocks in with some of this lovely underground moss looking stuff, some of the elephant grass. Is it elephant? No, it's not, it's eel grass, sorry. Some of the reeds as well, just common reeds. Yeah, just really simple, just you know, just give it a little bit of texture. Yeah, I quite like this little body of water. Actually, I think that looks really nice, really realistic. What I also did over here, I didn't want the path that the Jeeps take to be just a really clearly defined path. So what I've actually done is put a fake extra path coming off of here, and then down here and around the corner here, and then just sort of disappearing here off into this area. And so I've done that to make it look like the Jeeps in real life could actually go in multiple directions. So even though the track follows this one and they're never going to deviate from that, I wanted it to look like, if they wanted to, maybe there's an alternate route where they come down here and off in this direction. That's just a little touch of realism that I wanted to put in, and I will do that on some of the other tracks as well. I think it looks pretty cool actually with these the buggies coming through here with all the foliage now as well. They cut the edges a little bit close. Actually, I should move that bush, that's a little bit too close there. But yeah, I really like what you can do with these rides, having the the track sunk into the ground. I think it's just a pretty simple technique, but I think it works pretty well. So I've continued the theme around here, as you can see, just following the Jeep here, and then I've sort of made it get sparser as you come along here, and I've just put a little scene in here which I kind of liked. I wanted to use one of these the vehicles. It's the only vehicle that we've got in the game, and it actually suits obviously the African environment, so I wanted to put that in, put a little smoking special effect in there, and just had it so it looks like it's crashed up on the rock here with a bit of foliage as well. Really simple. It's a bit daft, it doesn't really make a lot of sense why there'd be a crashed Jeep down here, but I don't know, it's a little bit of whimsy for me. I just wanted to do that, and I might do one or two other little scenes like this as well somewhere around the rest of the park. I'm not too sure yet. Yeah, just a bit of fun. Got to have a bit of fun in the game, haven't you? I mean, that is why we play these things. So yeah, so that's where I'm up to now. So basically what I need to do is continue the theming. So I've still got a lot to do all the way along here. I've got another large raised area over here, which I need to sort out, and then obviously it comes right the way around the back here. I'm not too sure. I've got a bit of an idea of something that I want to do here under the bridge, just to kind of make this a little bit more interesting, but we shall see. So I'm going to go away now and do some more work, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've been quite busy. What I've done, I've gone along the entire route of the truck ride now, or the Jeep ride. I need to sort that wording out, don't I? It's a Jeep. Let's call it a Jeep. It's a Jeep ride. So I've gone all the way along and buried the track for the entire course, and I have worked on this area here with my rocks. So this is the next raised area, and I've changed this quite a lot from the original layout. It's a lot tighter curve here now, and I really wanted to put a little bit more height variation in, so I've really dipped it down quite a lot here. It actually goes down under the base level of the ground here, around the corner, and then back up again here, and then continues on where it did before. I just really wanted it to be a little bit more intricate here, and I really wanted it to curve more, and I wanted some more sort of intricate rock work here as well. I think it's worked out very nicely, actually. I think it looks pretty cool. Obviously it still needs a lot of work, needs quite a lot more foliage, but as an interesting area, you know, it's hard because obviously I'm going to be doing 4 of these track rides, one around sort of each corner of the park, and so you've got to try and keep them all interesting and different. You know, why would you want to go on this ride and then the next one and then the next one and then the next one? Why would you do it? It's because you want to be able to see different bits of the park from each one, but you also, you know, you want the rides to be exciting. You don't just want them flat and boring and, you know, and straight. You want them curving, you want them going up and down and around, and you want to try and really make it look like the Jeep is following a natural slope rather than a track that's been created for it. And I think that looks pretty cool. Yeah, I'm very, very happy. And the rock work is very simple. I keep it quite random. I don't overthink it too much. I just keep selecting different rocks and popping them in. Occasionally I won't be happy with one, and I'll get rid of it and replace it. But most of the time I tend to get it right first time. I generally start with the big rocks. You know, if this is something that you're looking at doing yourself and you're not too sure the best technique, generally I'll go with the biggest rocks first, go around, dot them around, then work your way down the sizes of rocks basically, and then you just keep on adding and adding, and eventually you get to these little ones here. And in fact what I'll probably do is add some of the really small ones, these you know, the fake rocks, these ones here. You know, adjust the colouring obviously, you know, and then when you just sink them into the ground, you can very easily really create a better looking you know, environment just by playing around with these like this. You know, if they were the right colour, that would just, you know, just smartens it up, really finishes it off with a little bit of detail there. So yes, that's where I'm up to now. So what I'll do, I've stopped here for now. Obviously there's going to be a lot more going on around the back here, but I just wanted to really focus on this bit. So what I will do next is continue with the foliage, and the foliage will continue up here. There may be some more rock work, just a little bit more along here, but I don't want to completely line the road with rocks. I do want the rocks to mostly be where there's raised areas or dipped areas. I'm not just going to create an entire edge or anything. So I do want these areas to look fairly natural, like they are just crossing the savannah kind of thing. But yeah, we'll see. So I'm going to go away now and do a bit of foliage work, and I will be right back once I've done it. Okay, so we're back here with our small Jeep crash area. So I just wanted to show you my idea for this this stretch. So between the two raised areas, so this original one here and the second one that I've created over here, this is what I've decided to do. Just light foliage around the edge, a few trees, you know, another fallen log just lying on the edge, little shrubs, little collection of cacti, that sort of thing. I've gone for some of the this scaevola bush sort of along underneath the bridge here. More trees, but kept it pretty sparse, pretty simple. Didn't want them in a real line along the edge here, which is why I've continued them just a bit further out as well. Just so it looks like the truck's really meandering just through the wild land. That was, oh excuse me, that was my my idea anyway. Hopefully it looks okay. Gone with one of these lovely big things. Look at this. What is this one? A kapok tree. One of the biggest trees in the game. It's yeah, fantastic looking thing. So then around this raised area, this is what I've done. Again, just gone with the. I had to put one of these massive trees on the top here. I couldn't really resist that. It was this spot was crying out for something big, but I didn't want to think tall. I wanted something wide. So this is why I've gone for this. This, what is it? It's a baobab tree. It's a great name. So again, kept the trees fairly low here. This is sort of your central piece, this tree, and then the rest of them are fairly low, because obviously you've got your viewing balcony over here, and I didn't want lots of tall trees to block the view here across the lake. So when you're standing here, of course you've got some trees, that's natural, but I didn't want, you know, this one here. If I'd put loads of them along here, that would have really blocked the view, which I didn't want to do. So I think you can still see the lake quite nicely as it is. And then again, just gone around and just dotted some shrubs around the rocks. Makes it look very natural, like you've got things just naturally climbing on the rocks. Nice, another fallen tree up here. A few cacti. I love this tree. It's a very odd looking thing, and if you angle it, so this isn't how it naturally looks. I've just angled it sideways a bit. It really looks like it's growing out of the side of the rock there, which I really like, kind of just hanging over the track. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And then just sparsely continued the trees around the line here. Got another one of these nice big kapok trees here. Actually, I might just need to adjust that. The roots just don't quite look right there, do they? But that's fine. Not a big problem. And then again, just continued the shrubbery along here. Again, just getting thinner and thinner as we go along. One more fallen log here, and then that's it. There may be some more. I'll do a bit more foliage along here. But as you can see, I've started my next little area here. And I wanted some water, because obviously I did a bit of water over the other side, and we got the main lake, but I do want these small pond areas as well, because the animals, I don't want them all just to gather around the main lake area. I want them to come off to these other areas for shelter or for water as well. And I thought it would look really nice, actually, just a little bit of water going under the bridge here as well. So obviously I still need to do a lot of decorating around this, which I will do next. That is my next area, and I will just continue it along here. As you can see, I've covered up the track all the way up to this next gate area. So yeah, we're making good progress here. it's tricky doing this because you want to try and make each bit look a bit different, but at the same time you are essentially doing the same stuff over and over again. It's rock work, and then it's trees, and then it's shrubs. So you know it's quite hard to keep the creativity going and to keep each area looking unique, which is why you have to do stuff like this. Little bit of water here, it just gives you a slightly different dimension to work with. Trying to create different environments, different eye lines and things. So yeah, it's fun coming up with the creative ideas. I'm obviously going to do this whole type of thing another 3 times, so I'm going to struggle to keep that creativity going, but I will do my best. I've got a bit of an idea. For example, over here, if I bring the track right around here, it's somehow going to have to sort of cross this water here. So whether, I don't think the track ride itself can actually go through water, so I may have to build like a little bridge or something coming over here. Not sure. I really don't know quite how that's going to work yet, but it's I'm looking forward to trying it out. So yeah, I've got a few ideas of how I can be creative, but we shall have to see. I hope this is a long way off. This is going to be towards the end of the project, so that's not going to be happening anytime soon, because I'm going to work clockwise. So this will be the next area that I work on, and then it'll probably be this main island here. Not sure whether I'm going into this island or whether I'll go straight here. I may well bridge to there and then bridge to there, I think. And this will be the last island, and I think I've decided I'm not going to bridge from this island back to this one. It was a thought, but I just don't think it will look very good having a big bridge coming all the way along here or connecting back to here. I think I will make it so the guests come in here and they just have to go around the entire thing all the way over to there, and then if they want to go home they can't cut across here. They have to go the long route all the way back through all of the bridges and back to there. Yeah, that's my thinking. We shall see. I may change my mind as I go along, but I don't know. So anyway, yeah, so let me go away now and do some more. So I'm going to do some work around this water area here next. Okay, so I have now finished my adventure ride. So let me show you what I've done. First things first, I mentioned before about the rocks. So I'll put lots of rocks around the raised area and around this water feature, which I'll show you properly in a minute. And I mentioned that I didn't really plan on doing an edge to the road areas in between those. Well, that is true, but I will do the odd sort of random little rock formation like this. Just because I don't want it to be completely bare between the areas. It wouldn't look right if there weren't any rocks like this just sort of out in the open. Plus it also gives the Jeep route a reason for why it's taken that route, because it's it's going along the edge of where the rocks are or whatever. So that's what I've done here, and as you can see I have done what I mentioned before with these small faux rocks. I've just about managed to get them the right colour to match these rocks, and I have used them over on this bit as well. So they're just dotted around the base here. I really like them. It just really adds a little level of extra detail. It just makes the whole thing look a little bit more realistic. I do wish they would enter something into the game where you could click on this and actually select the colour. Not necessarily change the colour of these rocks, because obviously there's lots of variations of these rocks in the game already, but when you've got a rock like this and then you want to match this, it'd be so easy if you could select that as a colour and then go onto this rock and then select the same colour. Because at the moment trying to match them up is incredibly hard. I've done the best I can and I think it looks pretty good. But it would be a pretty simple thing, I think, for them to put into the game to allow you to do that. But there we go. So yeah, if you're listening, then people that design this game, then please just add simple things like that in. Be very helpful to us. Thank you. Okay, so anyway, over here, what have I done around the water? Basically the same again. I put a little island in the middle here. I kind of liked that with a tree on it. I thought that looked pretty cool. Again, some simple rock formations, more of the same reeds. I didn't do too much in the base. I didn't want to completely cover up all the bottom, but I have done some more of the rocks and then this lovely sort of underground moss stuff. That's the eelgrass. Where's the moss? There's the moss. What is it? Hydrilla plant. Looks fantastic, that stuff. So that's just sort of scattered around the base. Also got some of the little bulrushes in here as well. Well, actually they're called cattail reeds, but they're basically we know them as bulrushes in England. Yeah, so again, just keeping it pretty simple along here. Didn't want to fill it up too much because you want the animals to be able to actually get into the water and use it properly. Again, just dotting some shrubs around, simple rock formations with the same kind of shrubs. So it really is just more of the same. But once it's all put in, it really links the areas together nicely. And again, just continue along here. Again, just one or two little rock formations, some simple tree work along here, one more rock formation, and then up into the gate. So that's it. We've basically done our first track ride. So let me come up here for an aerial view of what I've done so far. There we go. So I think that's looking pretty good, actually. I'm very happy with how it's looking so far, with our sort of dense foliage and building work up on the hill, and then you can clearly see that there's something going on down here with the track ride. Obviously there are large areas like this, and what I may come back and do later on is put some shelters in these areas to encourage the animals to come and actually sleep under here. So this would look really good here with a nice sort of big round shelter in, maybe some enrichment or something around in other areas, and that'll be the case for all these areas where there's not a lot else going on. So you'll have a large area here, so there'll probably be something going on here with some feeders or something, just to encourage the animals to go to all the different areas of the zoo, particularly where you've got the track ride, because you'd want to encourage the animals fairly near the tracks so that the guests can actually see them up close. Not a lot of use in going on the jeep rides if all the animals are half a mile away, over here somewhere. So yeah, there we go. That's where we're up to so far. I'm really enjoying this, actually. It's something very different to what I've done before, and I think it's coming along quite nicely. Should we go on a ride? I think it looks pretty cool when you actually go on the ride like this. You can have a look sideways, can't you, and have a look out. I think if you're actually on this ride in real life, I think you'd enjoy it. I think it feels pretty good. I think it would look fantastic once the animals are actually in here. I'd be interested to see what the track ride does. I've not done these track rides before, but I believe I've watched other people do them. And I think if the animals actually walk in front of the ride on the track, I think the ride stops until the animal moves. I could be wrong, but I guess that's what they would do in real life. I've certainly seen it, in actual real life, where they, an elephant walks out in front of the road, and you certainly don't keep driving when an elephant stands in front of you. You stop, and if necessary, you go backwards, because for a start, you don't want to annoy the animals, but also you've got to respect the animals as well. You are an interloper in their territory at the end of the day. So if an animal wants to stand in your way, then your business is to let it and not to disturb it. You have to respect the wildlife, without a doubt. I think it's pretty cool. I'm quite enjoying this ride. Could do with some sound effects, some nice sort of engine sound effects or something. Obviously, I've turned the sound off so that you can actually hear me talking, because it's tricky to get the volume right so that it unfortunately it records the sound from within the game, not when I adjust the speakers from my PC. So if I leave the volume on, it's too loud, so you can't hear me talking over the top, unfortunately. There may well be a way of changing that, but I have not figured that out. So you just have to put up with my voice and no music, I'm afraid. Yeah, look at that. I'm enjoying this little ride here. This is quite relaxing, actually. I feel quite meditated. I think it would look lovely once there's some animals to actually have a look at along here. I want to do car sound effects, but I'm not going to. I'm just not going to. because I'd sound stupid and I'd feel even stupider. There we go. Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? I love the furry dice. Actually, they're not furry; they look like plastic. But you know, it's the thought that counts, isn't it? Bright pink furry dice, nice. That's a very English thing, actually. That. So, I don't know if anyone else in the entire world has furry dice in their cars. In fact, you don't see it in England actually much these days, but it was very big back in the 80s and 90s. You know, you got your first car, and the first thing you did was get a pair of furry dice hanging up on the mirror. I've never done it myself, I have to say. I haven't been driving that long, certainly not in the 90s. Actually, I can't even remember when I learned to drive. It was a while ago. It was in the 2000s somewhere. But no, I've never had furry dice in my car. Anyway, I'm massively digressing. I should be talking about the game, not my driving habits. There we go. Right, so that's where we're up to, and I am having a ball doing this, and I'm looking forward to getting over onto this island next. I've got a bit of an idea of something that I want to do over here, so that's going to be the next episode, and it's going to be interesting. It's going to be something around this peak here, and I've got a bit of an idea of an interesting viewing platform to build. So yeah, stay tuned, and all will be revealed. But for now, that is our first area done. That is island number 1 basically complete. Now I am going to go back actually and do little details. I am going to download some telescopes to put up in our viewing tower and possibly along here as well. I'm going to look on the workshop for one of those. And I will be doing extra little details. I've got a few ideas of something that I want to do along some of the pathways. So anything that I do, I will sort of try and remember and go back and show you as and when I do them. I'm also still not 100% happy with these supports. I think at some point in the future I may go back and redo these and make them proper rounded archway supports. At the moment these bridges look a bit too square. For me, I want to get some sort of rounded pattern, and obviously in real life archways are the strongest supporting shape, so it would make sense for them to actually have archways under here. So that's something that I'm going to look at doing at some point in the future, but that's going to have to wait until I can summon up the enthusiasm to design something. Because at the moment I'm keen to get on with this island here because I've got some ideas for it. So there we go. So that's my next plan, but for now let's leave it there. So thank you very much for joining me today, and I do very much hope you've enjoyed this episode. I know we've not got too much done. I know there's been no building work. It's all been landscaping and decorating. But that's how this series is going to go. It's not all going to be buildings, I'm afraid, because that's just not what this series is. A lot of it is just going to be this kind of thing, lots of rock work and design work, you know, creating an atmosphere, not necessarily creating big buildings. Yeah, and we'll just have to see how it goes, but hopefully you'll come along for the ride. So there we go. So let's leave it there. Thank you very much for joining me, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Until then, take care and bye for now.